The first half of round one, he's been hit more than we've seen in all the fights, and he's getting whacked like Donnaire.
He just got hit. That was a
jab by Donnaire working well. Oh, my.
Look out! Datchinyan down for the first time. Struggling to get to his feet. In terrible shape. It's all over.
Datchinyan set for his 7th defense of the IBF flyweight title.
We'll soon find out, Al.
I like that explanation of him.
Something, unfortunately, I never had.
You know, no, I find that hard to believe. He is a taller fighter with a bigger reach, and those are the things that you always wonder, can a Datchinyan, who's a fighter that comes forward, deal with? Donnaire's attacking him much more than I expected right at the beginning.
Datchinyan, not a particularly fast starter in general. It'll be interesting to see if he gets right to it here. He did start unusually fast against Nonito's brother Glenn, who incidentally told the younger Nonito that Datchinyan does not hit hard, and you can see the punches coming. Datchinyan's response, he was toying with Glenn that night and didn't punch as hard as he usually does. Big left uppercut attempt there by Donnaire, that missed.
Two things have happened. The right hand is landing for Donnaire, but the left is landing by Datchinyan. But I think Nonito Donnaire has made Vic Datchinyan think about his power already.
And a wild swing and a miss with the left by Datchinyan. The free-swinging Datchinyan is being tested right out of the gate here by the younger Nonito Donnaire, having a very good start to the fight.
Well, you mentioned it. You know, you said Vic Datchinyan's gone through an undefeated career, barely tested. I got to be honest, in the first half of round one, he's been hit more than we've seen in all the fights, and he's getting whacked like Donnaire.
He just got hit. That was a shove. He just got hit by a left hand by Nonito Donnaire. Donnaire comes out blazing here midway through the first round.
Now the danger in all this is Donnaire better not
experience.
Well, in the keys to victory, one of the ones was land the right hand. Donnaire's done it repeatedly to both the body and the head here in round one.
Donnaire really up on his toes, moving to his left, which is the correct thing to do. And another wild swing and a miss there by Datchinyan. That he's very cognizant of Datchinyan's uppercut, but that straight left can really wear you down. Boy, Donnaire kind of bound for the challenger. Nonito Donnaire in the red and white, 17-1 with 10 knockouts. The champion Datchinyan in the black trunks. Donnaire, a huge underdog, yet he feels Datchinyan has built his record on washed-up fighters and guys moving up in weight. Well, at least tonight, Datchinyan in there with someone who's fought mostly at flyweight and super flyweight. But remember, Datchinyan regularly spars with guys much bigger than him. Datchinyan 28-0 with 22 knockouts.
Now, Datchinyan told us he wanted to use his right hand a lot more in this fight. He's known primarily as a left-handed puncher. So let's see if he tries to throw the right hook and the right uppercut a little more against Donnaire.
And the reason for that, because he knows that Donnaire is going to be circling to his left to try to get away from his power, the left hand. So he'll try to surprise him with the right. There it is, right there on cue.
You know what I'm surprised at? And it's a good weapon.
Left hand by Donnaire to the head.
He is landing the jab. Donnaire's also landing his left hook pretty well. And of course, that's a good weapon against the southpaw. Donnaire not known for that punch. And he's had hand problems with his left. Broke it in his second fight as a pro, and it's been troubling him sometimes in fights since.
Oh, Datchinyan got nailed, and then he came back. Here's a right hand, a miss by Donnaire with the left hand. And it is really heating up here in round two.
Nonito Donnaire is making this an interesting fight, but boy, he could make it too interesting for himself, because there are times when he is standing in harm's way of those Datchinyan big punches.
Donnaire has to be extremely focused against the awkward, herky-jerky moves of Vic Datchinyan. Lunging left there by Datchinyan.
That was a seminal moment in this fight. A big left hand by Datchinyan, and Donnaire counters him with the left hook. This is really turning into an interesting fight here in round two.
Some pretty good give and take. Good two-way action here in the early going to the IBF flyweight crown.
Outside.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about this is it's almost as if Datchinyan has stepped up in weight, because Donnaire is by trade a 115-pounder. And so we're getting a clue of how things would go for him in the 115-pound division.
Datchinyan missing again with a straight left there.
And Datchinyan's landed some more good straight left hands in this round. He's had a better second round. I don't know if he's winning it, but it's been better.
Well, he's usually a slow starter. I mean, even in fights in which he has been highly combustible later on. Trying to push Donnaire back with heavy lefts there is Datchinyan, but Donnaire standing his ground, looking tough. Final seconds of round 2. What is developing into an interesting affair. Nito faring pretty well as we enter round 3.
And you know, round 2, I have to say I might have put it in Datchinyan's column because of his good second half of the round. He did come back very well, and now body work by Donnaire. Datchinyan's finding the range with the straight left, but the body work by Donnaire in this round's been impressive.
You can see the difference in height and reach favoring the young challenger Donnaire. Datchinyan certainly has his vulnerabilities, as you can see, looping his punches, as Al pointed out earlier, the defensive lapses, but his ultra unconventional style and his incredible power usually bail him out. And when he straightens out those lefts, the power is compounded, like just now. Now Datchinyan going to the right.
That was a counter left took a moment ago by Donnaire. Every time Vic Datchinyan kind of rushes in, he does get countered by Donnaire, and that's an issue for him.
Donnaire has more well-rounded skills than Datchinyan. Datchinyan usually just looks for that one punch to end it. He's kind of undisciplined, but it seems to work for him.
Well, you know, Vic Datchinyan changes fighters when they come in the ring, and he's right. Once they've felt his power for the most part, Steve, they change. They can't use their skills. That hasn't happened yet to Donnaire, but there's a good left hand by Datchinyan.
Oftentimes, it's difficult to stay outside box move counter against Datchinyan. You have to sort of get in his chest, push him back, make it messy, hook to the body. But that's easier said than done, because if you get inside and you feel his sting, it's very discouraging.
Now, to Donnaire's credit, he has fought this whole fight for the most part at long range, used his jab and stayed there. And Vic has managed to get the straight left hand in from time to time, but I know not as much as he would want. So far, he hasn't hurt Donnaire with that punch.
Donnaire being extremely calm and patient here, waiting for his moments.
The other thing Donnaire did a moment ago was he feinted Datchinyan, and you saw Datchinyan react.
Big straight left hand right on the button by Vic Datchinyan. That nailed Donnaire. Oh, there's a good left hand that staggered Datchinyan. Remember, he's never been hurt or dropped in his career. Donnaire sensing the moment. Datchinyan battles back. Donnaire marching forward. Pacing, it's another hard left hand to the chin by Donnaire.
Ironic that a left hook has been the big weapon for Donnaire. Surprising.
What a huge finish to round 3. We've seen Vic Datchinyan in any kind of trouble. It might be the first time he's been in trouble his entire career, and we'll see how he responds in this situation. Round 4 scheduled for 12. IBF flyweight title. Datchinyan's belt on the line. Datchinyan's undefeated record at stake as well.
You know, Datchinyan's dad is here to see his fight. Only the second time he's seen his son fight as a pro. He's got to be a little nervous at this point.
Tense moments for Ruben Datchinyan. First trip to the United States.
Owned a gas station in Armenia, and he and Vic have a great relationship, and right now he's got to be concerned for his son.
A lot of concern in the Datchinyan corner as well, led by trainer Billy Hussein, who's 2-0 with Datchinyan, so he's taking over from former world champion Jeff Fennick.
You know what's interesting about this too? Now Datchinyan kind of feels urgency to come forward and make things happen, but when he does, Donnaire is counterpunching him so effectively. So it's a tricky situation for Vic Datchinyan right now.
Donnaire not quite as aggressive as he was towards the end of the 3rd round. Just tasted a straight left hand from Datchinyan.
Datchinyan's able to get that left in, especially when he uses the jab. I think Victor Datchinyan has not used his jab enough in this fight, Stephen. Were he using it more, it would set up that straight left hand.
You'll notice both eyes red and swollen on Datchinyan right now. Missing wildly with a straight left is Datchinyan. So the eyes are becoming a factor for Datchinyan. And it's early. How will Victor Datchinyan handle adversity? For the moment, it appears as if Donnaire is letting him off the hook. Now, that right hand by Donnaire was blocked by the left glove of Datchinyan. Straight left hand by Datchinyan to the chest, pushes Donnaire back.
Again, the counter left hook by Donnaire. You know, the problem with Datchinyan is when he rushes in, defense is not something he remembers much, and Donnaire has been able to take advantage of it. Now, there's some roughhouse tactics by Datchinyan. We talked about that before the fight. He likes to rough things up in there, but you can't do it, Steve, when your opponent, who has a big height and reach advantage, stays on the outside.
Nice counter left there by Donnaire. Another counter there by Datchinyan, and a spin around move by Donnaire. And Eddie Claudio is saying, don't do that.
I kind of thought it was fun.
Works better in basketball.
Yeah, it's true.
Final seconds of the round. And Datchinyan ends it with different kinds of fighters. Glenn Donnaire, a face-first brawler, and Nonito more of a tactical technician.
And Nonito Donnaire has some physical attributes, too, that his brother doesn't have. He's taller, he's got the reach, and he's a little bit bigger. And so all of that is troubling Victor Datchinyan right now.
Datchinyan came in thinking that Nonito was more of a threat, that he was better than Glenn, taking nothing away from Glenn's skills. Round 5 underway, scheduled for 12. IBF flyweight belt on the line. The champion Datchinyan in the black. Struggling a little bit with the challenger in the red, Nonito Donnaire. Nice shot to the body there by Donnaire.
Exactly, Stephen. The body work Donnaire has done over the first 4.5 rounds could pay dividends later in the fight. Donnaire thinks he'll own the later rounds. In his last 12-round fight, Donnaire against Oscar Andrade won the last 3 rounds dramatically to win that decision. He feels he's going to be the stronger fighter in the later rounds.
And our panel of press row scorers have it as a majority draw after 4 rounds.
I have a 39-37 as Sherman Cain does.
Sherman Cain from the Manchester Journal-Inquirer here in Connecticut. Mark Abrams, 15rounds.com. Jack Obermeyer from Boxing Digest. Coming up at the midway point of round 5.
There's the jab by Nonito Donnaire working well. Oh, my!